Hello everyone, this is Preetha from the UMass Amherst student chapter of INFORMS. Welcome back to our YouTube channel where we post interviews with our guest speakers. And today it's our pleasure to have with us Dr. Thiago Serra. He is currently a visiting research scientist at the Mitsubishi Electric Research Labs. He has a Ph.D. in operations research from Tepper School of Business at Carnegie Mellon University. And he has accepted an offer for assistant professor position in the Freeman College of Management at Bucknell University. So congratulations on that. And thank you for doing this. Prior to this, he gave a very interesting talk. So I would like to begin by asking you to kind of tell us a little bit about your research, briefly what you're doing.
Okay, so I work with applications of mathematical optimization. And also in theory, I work with the interplay between mathematical optimization techniques and techniques that are more commonly used in artificial intelligence, such as decision diagrams and deep learning.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I think very interesting and also interdisciplinary, right, in terms of CS and operations research.
Yeah, it's easier to carve your niche if you decide to bridge different worlds.
Right, that's true. So I'm interested in knowing, what do you think are some of the future opportunities for your specific area of research?
So I must say I'm passionate about integer programming.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere I look at, I see plenty of potential applications for integer programming. And machine learning is one of these areas. So there's a lot of potential, for example, using integer programming to test the robustness of neural networks, or also use machine learning to obtain optimal classification trees, which is a topic that comes from statistics. But we're not done there yet, because in order to use integer programming in these areas to the scale where we need to build these neural networks or classification trees, we will need better algorithms, integer programming algorithms. So we're before a very good application, and this is a great opportunity for students looking for challenging application to help push what we can do with the current methods.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. So since you're a fresh PhD, I think we can call you that, right? It has been 1 year?
Yeah, I defended last April.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, exactly like a year back. So curious to know, what would you say that you would do differently if you were to start your PhD now, having, some of the information that you have now about your field or PhD life in general. So what are the things that you would, do differently, and what are the things that you would never change?
So I would say I pursued my PhD in an unorthodox way. I was exploring three different areas.
Okay.
So I did some work with Mitsubishi Electric, and I worked with two professors in different things. I worked with Egon Balach in the Liebman project, and I worked with John Hooker in decision diagrams. And honestly, I wouldn't change that. I think that I had a big exposure by working with people with very different style, and also by having this experience with applications. But what I would say is that if you decide to do more exploration during your PhD, you should also have in mind that you need some publications coming close to acceptance. You need to have some publications close to acceptance, or some papers that are already accepted by the time you're in the job market.
Right.
So one thing I did is I went back to Mitsubishi Electric for a visiting position, which is the equivalent of a postdoc in industry.
Okay.
But I could maybe have gone directly for the job market, for the academic job market. So I would say that if I had some papers submitted earlier, maybe that would have been different. But in any case, I think that spending this year at Mitsubishi Electric before starting the tenure track has been great in any case.
Right.
But I would definitely advise that if you want to explore lots of different things, which I think is a very healthy thing, it would make your profile stronger, and it will make you realize what are the things you like and can do well.
Right.
It's good that you should have in mind that some of these papers should come out soon.
Right.
Don't be afraid of submitting them.
Right. Yeah.
They will never be perfect.
Yeah. And I think going forward also, once you are interviewing, you have to establish that you have a future plan, right?
Yes.
So if you have explored a lot of topics and you have things in the pipeline that can help in that too, I guess. Establishing that, okay, I have things planned for my future work. So.
Yeah, you have found your niche. Maybe
Yeah.
you have landed at a particular intersection where there's a lot to be done, and you're the person doing it right now, so you
Right.
can build this whole portfolio towards your tenure.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I think that's great advice. So, thank you. So yeah, moving from PhD life now to your soon-to-be a faculty member life. It's a, I won't say difficult, but it's a very interesting and crucial transition, right? So what are the things that you're like really looking forward to as like a faculty member?
So I would say that advising students looks like a promising and also challenging thing. Right now, I'm blessed that I'm having the opportunity to work with students from two of my collaborators, which has been great. They come from different backgrounds, and I am trying to convert them to this beautiful world of integer programming while we work on different applications of these techniques. But what I have learned from other people, especially junior faculty, is that every student that I advise will be different. And at Bucknell, I will be mostly looking to work with undergraduate students.
Right.
Which is, I did some research as an undergrad back in Brazil, and I think it's amazing that you start early that way. But I know that there's a lot to be learned.
Right.
But definitely something I would love to do. And can't wait.
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. And so the last thing that I want to ask you in this interview is that how much do you think networking at conferences has helped you in your professional and personal growth? I have known you through Twitter and conferences. I think you're amazing. So any tips you can give for, first-time attendees, that would be great.
Yeah, well, let me say that the first times I went to INFORMS, I was a shy person, hoping to take the leap and start talking and meeting people.
Right.
And I observed that there were so many people just like me at the border, just looking like, oh, I need to meet these people. And if you treat networking as this obligation of jumping cold water, it would be very hard to do it because nobody does it.
Right.
So I would say that there are many opportunities you can use. And I have to say that if you're going to talk about one expert in professional advice in your area, is Laura Albert. And she has this saying of, you should always show up. So if there are particular opportunities, there are particular events going on in these conferences, that's where you're going to meet people with similar interests. For example, there is a doctoral students colloquium where you get lots of advice about your future career, either if you go to academia or industry. You have the dinner the day before, you have the lunch during that day, have the reception, have breakfast, and all of these events are mixed between the doctoral students colloquium, the teaching effectiveness colloquium, and the junior faculty colloquium. So you can meet a lot of different people there. And of course, if you come once for the doctoral students colloquium, you can come back again for the teaching colloquium. In fact, I think that colloquium is such an important part of INFORMS that I did it 3 times. I did it as a doctoral student. Unfortunately, not that many people are interested in teaching as much as in the other colloquia. You can come back again, and they welcome you. So I've been there 2 years, and actually the person organizing the colloquia the 2 years was Mihai Banshiu, who told me the second time around, next year we're going to have an open position at Bucknell and you should apply for it because it looks like you enjoy teaching. But that's just one of the events. There are many other events. For example, the poster competition. The poster competition, I think it's a bit overlooked because usually posters don't get that much attention, but the poster competition has lots of judges. I did the poster competition in 2016, and I had to present the same material about 10 times for all the judges all the way to the end. And I won, which was great. But the most important part is that all that energy and enthusiasm that I had about my research was clear to them, to all the 12 judges that were there. And I made lots of great contacts that led to later conversations about postdocs and even about interviews in the job market, flyouts and everything. So I wouldn't say I cashed in any of the opportunities that came from winning that poster competition, but that particular event was, I think, the most intense networking experience I had at INFORMS. Because all that people who were paying attention to me and seeing my research, every one of them for at least 5 minutes, and I didn't have to jump in cold waters. They were there to listen to me talking about the research, and then every things flowed after that. So from there, I went to receptions of different universities that night. I was invited to social events that I didn't know about. So I would say that you have to show up to as many things as you can, to as many opportunities, and also join Twitter. And that's very important. Because you don't really have to approach a stranger. You can just tweet about the talk you're seeing, and maybe there's someone across the room tweeting about the same talk, and maybe you're going to talk with each other later because you like the same talks.
Yeah, it's amazing how Twitter can connect you and give you the visibility that you might need. So,
and you don't have to do the physical part of walking to people. And you just write, and if you like what you do, people will see it in the way you write. Right.
That's all very good advice, and thank you so much again for doing this. We really appreciate it. So thank you everybody, whoever listened to this, and I'm sure you're going to benefit from this.